The stars above glittered like frowning diamonds, each one a silent witness to the immense scale of the galaxy's events. The deep void of space was anything but empty. It was a battlefield. Massive warships of alien origin clashed with human fleets, and the airwaves buzzed with the coordinated chaos of battle commands. But amidst the destruction and the explosions lighting the sky, the human spirit burned brighter than ever. On the bridge of the Vanguard, Captain Elena Mercier stood tall, her gaze unwavering as she watched the battle unfold through the viewport. Her crew worked around her with the fluid efficiency of veterans, their faces a mix of exhaustion and determination. Humanity had come far from its early days, and now they fought for survival in the heart of the galaxy. Status report, Elena commanded, her voice steady despite the turbulence rocking the ship. Shields at 60%, but holding steady, replied Lieutenant Bishop from the tactical console. His fingers danced over the controls, coordinating the defensive maneuvers of the Vanguard's shielding systems. Our fleet is holding the line, but those Thraxian warships are adapting faster than we anticipated. The Thraxians have been humanity's greatest adversary since the start of the war, towering beings with biotechnological weapons and ships that seemed to evolve mid-battle. They were relentless, but if history had taught anyone anything, it was that humans were just as relentless, and in some ways, more unpredictable. Captain, incoming message from Admiral Lott, the communications officers called out. On screen, Elena said. The image of Admiral Lott flickered to life on the display. His sharp features, graying hair, and calm demeanor belied the intense pressure he was under. Elena, we've received intel that the Thraxians are preparing to deploy their planet killer. If that thing reaches our colonies on Beta Prime, it's over, Locke said, his voice laced with urgency. We need to break their formation and take it out before they can charge the weapon. Elena's jaw tightened. The Thraxians' planet killer was infamous, capable of reducing entire worlds to dust with a single blast. Humanity couldn't afford to lose Beta Prime. It was one of their last remaining strongholds in this sector. I'll take the Vanguard in, sir. We'll punch a hole through their defenses and take out that weapon, Elena replied, her voice resolute. Locke gave her a grim nod. I knew you'd say that. Godspeed, Captain. Humanity is counting on you. The screen went dark, and the weight of the mission settled over the bridge. Elena turned to her crew, meeting their eyes one by one. They were tired, battle-worn, but their resolve was unwavering. They had come too far, fought too hard to back down now. All right, people, this is it. We're taking the fight to the Thraxians. We've got to disable that planet killer, no matter the cost, Elena said. Lieutenant Bishop, prepare the ship for a direct assault. I want all power diverted to the forward shields and weapons. Aye, Captain, Bishop responded, already moving to execute her orders. Helm, set a course directly for the enemy command ship, Elena continued. We're going right through their heart. The Vanguard surged forward, engines roaring as it cut through the chaos of the battle. Enemy ships opened fire, plasma beams and missiles streaking toward them. But the Vanguard held firm. The ship shook violently as it took hit after hit, but it didn't falter. Shields at 40%, Bishop shouted over the noise. Keep pushing, Elena urged. We're almost there. Ahead, the massive silhouette of the Thraxian command ship loomed, its sleek and terrifying design, making it look like a predator ready to pounce. And there, at the center of it, was the planet killer, glowing with an ominous red light as it charged its deadly weapon. They're powering up the planet killer, the tactical officers warned. Elena's mind raced. They were running out of time. Fire everything we've got at that weapon, she ordered, all cannons, full spread. The Vanguard unleashed its fury, every gun on the ship firing in unison. Missiles streaked toward the Thraxian command ship, accompanied by bursts of plasma fire. Explosions rippled across the enemy vessel as their shields buckled under the relentless assault. They're returning fire, Bishop called out. The Vanguard shuddered as it was hit by a barrage of enemy fire. Alarms blared, and sparks flew from the consoles, but Elena held her ground. Shields at 10%. We're not going to survive another hit like that, Captain. Bishop warned, his voice strained. Elena's mind raced, desperation clawed at her, but she refused to let it take hold. There had to be a way. Divert all remaining power to the forward batteries, she said, her voice calm despite the chaos. Prepare for one last shot. The crew looked at her, some with wide eyes, but none of them questioned her. They trusted her, just as she trusted them. On my mark, Elena said, watching the planet killer's charge build to critical levels. 3, 2, 1, fire. The vanguard unleashed everything in a final, desperate volley. The weapons tore through the weakened shields of the Thraxian command ship, and for a moment, time seemed to slow. The planet killer exploded in a blinding flash, sending shockwaves through space. Cheers erupted on the bridge as the command ship disintegrated, taking the planet killer with it. But there was no time for celebration. The battle wasn't over yet. Captain, enemy ships are retreating, Bishop called out, his voice filled with disbelief. Elena allowed herself a small smile. We did it. As the Thraxian fleet began to withdraw, Elena stood tall, her heart swelling with pride. Humanity had faced the impossible once again and had emerged victorious, but she knew the war was far from over. There would be more battles, more sacrifices, but for now, they had won, and that was enough. The saga continued, but in this moment, humanity had proven, once again, that they would not be broken. The vanguard drifted in the aftermath of battle, debris from destroyed ships littering the void like twisted, blackened monuments to the latest victory. The crew of the vanguard was silent, each person processing the narrow escape from death in their own way. For now, the stars felt a little brighter, but everyone knew this calm was temporary. Captain Elena Mercier stood at the viewport, her hands clasped behind her back. The stars had never felt so far away. Despite their brilliance, behind her, the hum of the ship's engines and the chatter of her crew offered a strange comfort, a reminder that they were still alive, still fighting. Captain, Bishop said, breaking the silence, Admiral Locke is on comms. He's requesting a status update. Elena turned, her eyes scanning the bridge. They had won a major battle, but it had come at a cost. Half their fleet was either crippled or destroyed, and the crew was exhausted, but the Thraxians had been pushed back for now, and that small victory might give humanity the breathing room it desperately needed. Catch him through, she replied. The screen flickered to life, revealing Admiral Locke once again. His stern expression softened slightly as he regarded Elena, though his eyes remained sharp. Captain Mercier, Locke began, I see your ship is still in one piece, but barely. We sustained heavy damage, Admiral, Elena admitted. The vanguard would need repairs before we're battle-ready again. But the planet killer is gone, and the Thraxians have retreated, for now. Locke nodded, the ghost of a smile crossing his face. You've done humanity a great service today, Elena. We all have, but as you've no doubt realized, this war is far from over. Elena straightened, sensing something in his tone. What's our next move, sir? Locke's expression darkened. Our intelligence reports suggest that the Thraxians are regrouping in the Actorim, near a region of space known as the Abyss. We believe they're preparing for something far more dangerous than a planet killer. Elena's heart sank. The Abyss, an area of space shrouded in mystery and dread. Few ships that ventured into it ever returned. It was a place spoken of in whispers, a vast and treacherous expanse filled with anomalies, gravitational storms, and other dangers no one fully understood. You want us to go into the Abyss? Elena asked, keeping her voice steady despite the implications. Locke nodded grimly. We don't have a choice. Whatever the Thraxians are planning out there, it could turn the tide of the war. We've intercepted fragmented communications suggesting that they're developing a new weapon. If they succeed, we might not be able to stop them next time. Elena glanced at her crew. They were already worn down from the last battle, but there was no time to rest. Humanity needed them. I'll assemble a task force, Elena said, her resolve hardening. We'll head to the Abyss and find out what the Thraxians are up to. Locke's eyes narrowed with approval. I knew I could count on you. I'm sending you the coordinates now. Be cautious, Captain. The Abyss is unpredictable. and the Thraxians are far more dangerous when they're desperate. The screen went dark, leaving Elena with a heavy sense of foreboding. The abyss was no place for the faint-hearted, and whatever the Thraxians were hiding there, it wasn't going to be easy to uncover. "Lieutenant Bishop," Elena said, turning back to her crew, "begin preparations for a jump to the outer rim. We're heading into the abyss." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. They knew the stories about the abyss, but they trusted their captain. They had survived everything the galaxy had thrown at them, so forward was one more impossible mission. "Aye, Captain," Bishop replied, though the tension in his voice was palpable. Hours later, the Vanguard was repaired as best as it could be under the circumstances. The fleet that remained intact formed up behind her, a small but determined group of ships heading into the unknown. Elena stood at the helm, her eyes fixed on the vast expanse of space ahead. "Engage the jump," she ordered, and with a shudder, the Vanguard leaped into faster-than-light travel, the stars stretching into bright lines as they sped toward the abyss. The abyss was unlike anything they had ever seen. It wasn't just the absence of light or the strange, eerie quiet that settled over the ship as they entered. It was the way the very fabric of space seemed to warp around them, distorting the view from the viewport. Strange, swirling nebulae of dark energy pulsed in the distance, and the ship's sensors struggled to make sense of the gravitational anomalies surrounding them. "Captain," Bishop said, his voice tense, "the ship's sensors are picking up strange readings. I can't tell if it's natural or something else." Elena frowned. "Stay sharp, everyone. We don't know what's out here." For hours, they drifted deeper into the abyss, navigating through unstable space. Every crew member was on edge, their eyes scanning the strange phenomena surrounding them. There was something unsettling about the place, something that felt wrong. Suddenly, the alarms blared. "Multiple contacts," Bishop shouted. "Thraxian ships, closing fast." Elena's eyes snapped to the viewport, where dark shapes began to emerge from the swirling mess of the abyss. Damn scenes of Thraxian warships, their twisted, organic designs reflecting the malevolent energy of the abyss itself. "They were waiting for us," Elena muttered. "All hands, at all stations." The Vanguard surged into action, its weapons primed and ready. The Thraxians weren't just defending their territory, they were preparing an ambush. The first volley from the Thraxian fleet rocked the Vanguard, but the human ships responded in kind, unleashing a barrage of missiles and plasma fire. The battle raged in the depths of the abyss, a chaotic dance of fire and destruction against the backdrop of the unknown. But as the fighting intensified, something far more terrifying began to stir in the depths of the abyss. The strange energy fields that had been warping space around them began to shift, as if responding to the violence.